off of that, and she writes that what really was the impetus for her coming back into the limelight was the Tyler Clemente, the young man who took his own life when he was kissing a friend at school, was put on the internet, and because she was suicidal.
Yeah, she says in the piece that learning about that story, she had some long conversations with her mom, and both she and her mom were in tears hearing that story, because she said that for long stretches of time when the scandal broke, her mom would not leave her side, because Monica Lewinsky, she says she never actually tried to commit suicide, but she often had suicidal thoughts. And she's careful not to compare herself to Tyler Clemente, and say, obviously his situation is very different, and she says that in the piece. But she's very clear that sort of lit a fire in her, and said, and she describes what she calls the culture of humiliation in the modern internet culture. And partly the reason for writing the piece is that she wants to now publicly speak out on that issue and actually be an advocate. It's not clear from the piece how she's going to do that. But one thing that, and I've read the full piece now, not just the excerpts, but she says she's going to continue to speak out on this issue. Does not appear that this is going to be the last word from her.
What better, more qualified person to talk about internet shaming? How do you think the Clintons are dealing with this, are reacting to this?
Well, you know, she makes this, Monica makes an interesting point. She points out that line in one of Beyonce's songs. It says, he Monica Lewinsky'd on my dress. And she says, no, that's Bill Clintoning. That was Bill Clinton's mess, not Monica's mess. And there's a degree to which I think Bill Clinton is very beloved right now. And there's sort of this sort of backslapping, sort of joking about him like he's some kind of stud or rogue when we talk about him now in his sex life. So you just imagine that if Hillary were to be president, he's the guy who would be giving, school children their tours of the White House. And it seems, at least to me, fair to at least hear Monica out at this point, that we sort of re-embraced him. Well, let's hear where she is now at age 40 and what she now thinks, looking back, being sort of the first person to go through that kind of gauntlet that we've now created.
And Ryan, if she really wanted to hurt Hillary's aspirations, she could have timed this much differently, right?
I think that's right. I mean, it's not, this is very early in the presidential process. I think the question is this the last word from her, or as she says in the piece at the end of the piece, is she actually going to be speaking a little bit more, and is this going to be is she going to be a public presence through Hillary Clinton's campaign? She says that she put her life on hold the last time Hillary Clinton ran for president, and she feels like it's not necessary to do that anymore. So that, that suggests that maybe, we're going to be hearing from her more than, through the campaign, and it is something that maybe Hillary and Bill need to deal with. Remember, she could have destroyed Bill Clinton in a lot of ways. I think people forget that the FBI wanted her to wear a wire and go implicate Clinton aides and perhaps the president herself. She was, early 20s in a room in Virginia with FBI agents asking her to do that, and dropping that, oh, maybe you could go to jail if you don't. And she didn't. So, I have a lot of sympathy for her. She could have really damaged him back then and in the ensuing years. And frankly, I think she's got every right to speak out.
Do you think that turning 40 might have had something to do with this? First of all, I can't believe she's frozen in 23 for so many in people's memories and going that. But besides the Tyler Clemente incident, what do you make of the timing of this?
Well, it's interesting because all that sort of initial hoopla, it's hard to sort of judge somebody for the choices they make when right after, she had the beginning of a career and obviously it fell apart. So she took, whatever jobs were available to her, being a hostess on TV, whatnot. Now, all these years later, I think I'm really curious to see her reflecting on it and looking back, because she's not just somebody reacting to a sort of infamous moment, but now she's an adult woman who's had by what it seems to be, a normal private life, and to see sort of her reflecting on it at this point after the culture sort of caught up to where she is.
Yeah.